I can't believe I got this on my first try. Greetings and salutations everyone, this is Limbus Company, I'm Ekamac, and it's the seasonal event for Limbus Company. I was thinking that I'd show some of this off, but then I decided nah, and then I got the holiday ego on my first pull, so I don't know, maybe I actually will. Oh, actually no, I definitely will because I've started it. So for the next 28 days or so, we have this, clear event stage, main story stages or story dungeons to earn trinket sack. You can redeem various rewards from the gift exchange based on your trinket sacks. By having holiday-based events equipped, it increases the amount that you earn them at. But wow, you have to go a long time to get your hands on the other holiday event ego, and it's Zayn, so I definitely want it. On hit, randomly select one of the following effects, inflict one potency next turn. Repeat the above process 2 times highest gluttony resonance to a maximum of 7. If you kill someone, then get a positive buff to one of your allies. Or you just hit them with a status effect and deal 10 SP damage. Ooh, this one looks dangerous because it targets whoever has the most SP. So that's not good for bosses. I guess I could also pretend to thread spin this, but would only be, oh, what, 2 in? Yeah, we've only got the passive unlocked for that, but anyway, let's check the story event itself. We can't revisit the story because we haven't done it, but oi Clockhead, get cracking! Tedium. Our wait in the lake grows ever longer. One by one, sinners begun succumbing to the tedium. Then Heathcliff suddenly and anxiously calls it over to Virgilius. I think there won't be any voice acting for this. Because they said that special events wouldn't get as... they couldn't keep up with... they had to cut corners. Because it's hard to organise all the voice acting, so less voice acting, more content. As our voyage on the Great Lake extends, the list of things to keep the sinners entertained grows ever smaller. In a way, it sounds like a serious problem, but... guys, anybody got any fun stories to tell? No, for the 30th time. I suppose repeating the exact same phrase that many times is a talent if it could even be called that. If you're having trouble recalling what you said moments ago... She has repeated the phrase 28 times to be precise. At 30, I was planning to verify if she had suffered any damages to her occipital region. I get it. I'm just that bored, Kay. I wrestled a bull the other day and it still wasn't that fun. There's nothing to do anymore. I'm tired of playing the same game of backgammon again and again. Good. I've got a job for you then. How about you start feeding the seagulls on time for once? Somehow it became my responsibility after all you got tired of taking care of it. Yeah, we're gonna have to let the seagull go once we're out of the Great Lake anyway. Why'd you even get yourself attached to it? Just look at her. The way she looks at you. Those woeful eyes. What, your average seagull eyes? It was abundantly clear that the sinners were starting to slowly expire from sheer boredom. Well, it's not really a problem that has a solution. I had 0 interesting stories to tell considering that I'm an amnesiac, so... all I could do was sit here and watch the sinners suffer. Putting them through the daily trials of the mirror dungeons wasn't the most exciting activity either. Speaking of which, Heathcliff appears to be the one least affected by this mess. Well, not that he was all calm and aloof, that is. I'd say he's anxious. Oi, Virgilius? frosty silence descended upon the sinners. And the source of that frost was the inexplicable event that played out before their eyes. Huh? Oh. Heathcliff, have you gone insane? Did you finally snap? This must be some side effect of the consultations. Maybe we can call this sense of self-preservation loss syndrome or something like that. Heathcliff? Shut your traps, I ain't mad. My sense of self-preservation is just fine. Impressive, Heathcliff. I really found myself surprised in this series of misadventures so far, but this is one of those rare occasions. Speak. What is your business? It's the, our next destination is T-Corp, innit? Do you really need me to answer that? You know what I'm talking about. Patience, Heathcliff, though that seems to be a virtue that most of you lack. If everything goes according to the flow, you'll make it to your appointment on time. Since I had no context for any of that, all I could do was sit here and watch as Heathcliff scratched the back of his head. I'm still out of the loop, but Heathcliff must be really anxious about something if he's willing to talk to Virgilius first. And after all that, that's not... What else could be possibly more important than the appointment? Wait. Heathcliff turned around to face us. Oi, any of you got any history with T-Corp? Show of hands now. I have in a way. I resided in that place once. Right, but we already did you, didn't we? Then, yeah, soon it'll be... But we're still in the middle of this mad lake. Oi, Clockhead! What's today's date? How would I know? Huh? Can't you tell the date? You've a clock for a head! Our clocks and calendars are completely different things. Ugh, Heath, this was your 30th sigh today. Keep doing that and you might just huff and puff our boat to pieces. Tell us, Heathcliff. Your turn's coming up, isn't it? And whatever it is that awaits you there, you're going to have to prepare yourself for it. Yeah, I suppose there's no use hiding it anymore. After some time... Right, so to summarize, Heathcliff's starting to feel like his turn's coming up now that Ishmael's had her time in the ringer. And he's got good reason to believe that because Virgilius handed him something in their last consultation that affirmed his suspicions. According to that something, he'll need some fancy clothes and whatnot to refine his looks before we get to T-Corp. But since we're so far from escaping the lake, you're starting to feel restless, is that right? Right on. So there's not much you can do about that before we hit solid ground, is there? Ugh. Oh, come on, Heath. That's it. Don't you worry, I can definitely help you with that as soon as we find land, okay? We don't even know how far away from land we are. Dante, we have reached the end of the scheduled work period for the sinners. Huh? Yeah. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the sinners. I reflexively said my usual routine piece as the light alarm played. Man, that wasn't even a big deal then. Ugh. I was hoping to see an act of dramatic bloodshed for once. Well, at least he wasn't trying to stir up trouble for once. The sinners each got up from their seats, yawned and stretched, and one by one disappeared into the back door. Oi, Clockhead. Didn't you know though they knocked your wits off with your head? Sorry. But Gregor isn't completely wrong, is he? Can't you even mince words at this point? Ugh. Virgilius and Charon also walked into the back door, mocking grins on their faces. And I was left alone in the ship's cabin, standing awkwardly next to a severely crestfallen Heathcliff. Ahem! Wait. There was another. Sir Heathcliff! Huh? What are you doing out here, girl? Run along, you. Go gush about the high and mighty fixes of T-Corp or something. I shall have plenty of time for that later, yet. thou shalt do well to treat me, Sir Heathcliff. What, you little... Hold! Allow me to finish. Manager Esquire, Sir Heathcliff, come hither. Hush, hush. Don Quixote wore a confident smile. She slowly, gingerly walked over to a present and temporarily vacant Charon's seat and whispered ever so silently to us. Forsooth, I have devised a splendid plan for thee. Well, this sounds extremely troublesome. Man, 10 minutes in and we haven't even gotten to see what the trouble is that we're going to have to beat presents out of. I just remembered the thing. Something that I want to know about Heathcliff's new ego. Okay, so it gives him a weakness to gloom and envy, but a resistance to gluttony and neutral to lust. This... Whew. Special effects aside, this might be a fantastic ego for him to use all the time because lust and gluttony are frustratingly common, in the low floors at least. Don Quixote brought us to the helm of the ship. There it was, the monitor that Force would analyze whenever we had a backdoor volatility. And there they were again, those unknown symbols. So, what is this splendid plan of yours? I don't think there were words in this world expressive enough to describe that look on Heathcliff's face. It was certain that he had very scant expectations for Don Quixote and her plans, but there was this sliver of hope in his face that maybe, just maybe, Don Quixote might rise to the occasion for once. It was unclear whether Heathcliff's internal struggle mattered to Don Quixote, however. She began excitedly describing her plan. Didst thou, Sir Heathcliff, ever hear tale of the ancient and legendary fixer of Deviat Association? The Red Sack? The... what? Like Virgilius? It is said that the legendary Red Sack carried out his deliveries no matter how terrible the terrain or how arduous the journey to all corners of the city, and with him was his sidekick, Reindeer Man. Forsooth, his magnificence hath given away gratuitous gifts for children of the city that he deemed to be kind. 'Tis but common knowledge, Sir Heathcliff. He appeareth on the front cover of Fixer's Monthly every winter. Don Quixote asked, sounding genuinely shocked to learn that Heathcliff did not know of this Red Sack. What makes you think I'd ever read rags like that? Fie to thee! Rags, thou sayest? Manager Esquire, surely thou hast heard of this magnificent publication? Amnesiac. I knocked on my ticking clock head. I didn't really feel the need to spell it out for her. So none of thee has subscribed to it then? Mine words fell on deaf ears. Anyhow, what matters to thee, Sir Heathcliff, is that thou endeavoureth to make thyself more presentable than anyone else for this occasion, is it not? Finally getting to the point, eh? Go on. Marry, good sir, a costume most befitting that occasion would be those of the Red Sack and his sidekick Reindeer Man. This isn't gonna end well, is it? What, like those ridiculous fixes day after the Addy whatever? 'Tis not ridiculous. Fie, thou hast not even deigned to indulge mine only wish that we cosplay fixes del Attiranti together. Thou hast not even given it a chance indeed. Speak not on a matter thou know naught about. With all that talk of a splendid plan, I thought you were actually going somewhere. But it all comes around to that fixer nonsense again, eh? Ugh, don't even have the energy to beat sense into you. I'll get to it later. 5 honest hits to the noggin should do it. When the sliver of hope on Heathcliff's face was beginning to rapidly fade, prithee, share thy thoughts of the fixes that we have laid our eyes upon thus far. Huh? Embarrassing, were they? Remember, were they not fancy and impeccably dressed? Close not thy eyes and heart, speak! Absolutely embarrassing sods, yeah. That spandex bloke from K-Corp looked like he reaped right out of a circus. Nay! Lord Siegfried was not embarrassing. I say that his outfit was rather dashing, wouldn't you agree? Allow me to explain to thee the materials of its fabric so that I understand. Excuse me? Hi thee hither, Sir Heathcliff, I am yet unfinished! Ugh, why is the girl so hyper today? Well, Lord Siegfried is a special outlier, mayhaps, but dost thou not agree that most fixers are rather well dressed in war honour upon their sleeves? Honour upon their what? I don't know about that, but I suppose they were quite posh. Exactly! Follow the eye, and thou shalt see thyself dressed as impeccably and impressively as the fixers are. Is that right? Sod it, I know shite all about clothes or making myself look fancy. Right, so let's say I go along with your plan. Where are we gonna get them clothes? Honestly, everyone was right. Where are we even going to pick up clothes in the middle of the lake? Aha! Yet I have thought of that as well! Recall the events of yesterday. The sirens that echoed across this bus. Dost thou remember? Now that I think about it, there was a siren yesterday. Went off not long before I announced the close of business for the day. But Force said that the backdoor volatility wasn't anything for us to worry about. Yet I was curious. How indeed doth Force determine which volatility is useful and which is not? Thus, as all were crowded by the back door, preoccupied with returning to their respective quarters, I have secretly and stealthily availed myself of the chance to take a glance at the screen. So you took a peep at the screen. You know how to read those complex symbols? Nay, I myself had little hope of recognizing them. Yet, when I looked into them, I could very easily tell what the particular symbols on that device indicated. Forsooth, 'twere symbols of the Red Sack and Reindeer Man, and next to them was a symbol indicating posh outfits. Nah, it can't be that simple. Yeah, no, it can't be that simple. I agreed with Heathcliff. However, Don Quixote remained enthusiastic as ever, as though she was already expecting him to say that. Dost thou know? Every so often, certain symbols appear on the numerous doors past the back door. Every respite, every passing glance, I made sure to watch them carefully. And 'twas yesterday, when, in the corridor, I spied myself the exact door with the exact same symbol that I witnessed on the screen. Don Quixote, you didn't! 'Tis my nature as an adventurer manager, Esquire. My inability to quell the burning adventurous spirit, I prostrate before thee. Know that I have taken the sneakiest of peeks. Mary was taught no too foolhardy. I've only taken a small peek. And if I told thee that what I witnessed from within, that all my deductions and predictions have been proven true, could thee find within thyself compassion to spare mine soul? You absolute muppet. Why the bloody hell do you keep doing what everyone tells you not to? Right, Heathcliff, I just don't understand why some people keep doing things that everyone tells them not to. I remember when Heathcliff ignored all warnings and went into the restricted areas past the area of the corridor that we're all allowed to use. We almost lost Heathcliff. It was a tad different this time, however. Back then, Heathcliff had no idea what was beyond that door. And this time, we do. Are you suggesting that we call everyone over to explore that place? Nay, the three of us will be more than sufficient to handle this task. All tales begin with a party of three indeed. You're just scared of the consultation, aren't you? I have nary clue as to what you may be referring to. The answer to this predicament was right there. Tell them that it's too dangerous and shove them back into their respective rooms to rest up for tomorrow. Manager Esquire, that zone, indeed it appeared to be a place most peaceful to mine eyes. 'Tis a simple task, is it not? All that we seek to do is enter there and avail ourselves of a few sets of clothes for Heathcliff. It was obvious that Don Quixote wasn't helping Heathcliff out of pure kindness of her heart. Maybe she hungered for an adventure. Maybe she thought she might be able to do that cosplay of the fixers she so admired. But if we can find Heathcliff some nice clothes to put his heart at ease, then maybe I can do something about this before things get out of control. Like it did last time when I just let us sit in his anxiety stew and exasperate. Fine, but we're turning around at the first sign of danger. Seriously? Come on. You were willing to do it if it meant that you could pick up some clothes. Well, I suppose we'll be okay as long as Clockhead's with us. Heh. Well said. Then let us reconvene tonight before Manager Esquire's quarters. We shall knock in the following rhythm. Knock, 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 knock. Then thou shalt whisper a secret code, to which then I shall... Just go get some sleep. I really hope this won't be a waste of time. We agreed on a precise time before returning to our respective rooms. She be a lot of trouble, that Don Quixote. She be a lot of trouble indeed. And this looks like it's going to lead to a punch-up, which I can't afford. So we get a first time bonus of 40 sacks, 40 lunacy, and 10 more sacks. We've got no idea what we're gonna see, but it's gonna be trouble. We entered the back door Don Quixote claimed to have seen what appeared to be a factory. Clearly not her first time in this establishment. Don Quixote calls over to someone. Interesting! It forces us to only deploy Don Quixote and Heathcliff, huh? I feel like this is actually probably the best combo we could hope to get anyway. Unfortunately, by having Utis equipped with her holiday ego, we're still going to get bonuses to our rewards even though she isn't participating. That's a very nice addition they made to all events except for the first one. A dark silent night, all are sound asleep. Thus we assemble! This better be worth the trouble. It will be worth every trouble, of course. Now come hither! We quietly and sneakily followed Don Quixote, taking care not to make a noise. Are we really crossing this line? Bloody hell, lass! Don't you know what happened the last time I crossed it? Alas, it will be different this time. All you must do is follow the corridor immediately to the right of this delineation and open the door here. So they're the symbols she was talking about. Past the door, through the window, the symbols Don Quixote mentioned shimmered. Symbols that seemed to indicate a sack, a wrapped present, and what appeared to represent fancy clothes. So they're the red sack and reindeer man symbols? Precisely! Right, I suppose you're the expert with these things. I'm going in. Hold on! Before I even had the chance to stop him, Heathcliff barged into the door. And we found ourselves almost getting dragged in by his sheer fervour. Oh! We found ourselves in a rather sizable room. This place was decorated with numerous Christmas-themed ornaments. Warm, cozy lighting reflected off the wood flooring. A maze of conveyor belts were installed all over the place. This place is... a factory? Quite! And what are those things? Those little children like... Hark! It is I, Don Quixote! What the hell is she doing? The little figures Heathcliff indicated didn't exactly look like children. They all froze for a moment before turning around in our direction. They weren't humans, that's for sure. Give me but a moment, I have already parleyed with these fellows. What happened to the sneakiest of peaks? Oi, Clockhead, something's coming this way. A small, but larger than the others around it, figure scurried over and stood before us. Ah, Lady Don Quixote, you finally graced us with your presence once again, O May. And just as you did before, poof, appearing from the most unexpected places again, O May. Who's this Don Quixote? The one who shall grant us the wonderful gifts indeed. He rubbed his hands, or what I assumed to be hands, together, looked up at us, and started. Pleased to make your acquaintance, O May. You must be Lady Don Quixote's friend, O Mays. My name is Dodoro. Like a gnome who works at this factory. Ohm. Okay, that's why. Why, of course I make gifts here, Ohm. A gnome? Indeed, a gnome! Was that supposed to be obvious? What are gnomes anyway? So they're not humans, right? Yes, these fellows are not humans, they're gnomes! Yes, of course, not human gnomes. Didn't think non-humans were allowed in the city. They're not abnormalities or distortions either. There's something else. The city? I knew it. Well, why does it matter if they are not humans? What truly matters is the heart with which they commit themselves to work. That is... Of course. You're absolutely right, milady. Didn't that Doru gnome say something weird about the city just now? So that wasn't just me, huh? Well, this Dodoru cut in our conversation. Do the friends of Lady Don Quixote wish for any present gnomes? Say, we have rather fancy clothes and powerful weapon gnomes, or delicious cookie gnomes. Fancy clothes? So you really have them? Looks like we've got a winner, Ohm. Well, then please, this way. The gnome said something about introducing us to the reception hall and led us to a certain room in his scurrying gait. This seems more like storage space than a reception hall. Oh, behold, there is a warm fireplace and a table in this cozy place. What more could they possibly ask for? And we have some delicious refreshments ready for you as well, Ohm. Please wait a moment and I'll be right back with the gifts you want, Ohm. The gnome bowed, opened the door and scuttled out of the room. Our reception hall's usually this barren. I've never been in one before, so I had no idea if this was what they were supposed to look like. I had to ask. Especially because it was starting to get pretty obvious, even with my rather limited experience, that there was something off about this whole situation. I have once heard the rumor that this kind of decor has been catching on in recent years. Yeah, I've heard that too. Apparently it's popular for some blokes to just deliberately leave their stuff lying around in some half-finished looking buildings. Is that what this is? Huh. Still thy heart, Manager Esquire! I shall personally be responsible for this expedition and claim ourselves shiny gifts! If push comes to shove, I could nab some of these. I saw them packing some shiny, expensive-looking stuff over there. No thievery this time, Heathcliff. Has the incident with the hair coupons already left thy mind? Ah, blimey. Desk. Fine. Heathcliff was as foul-mouthed as always, but it was evident from his relaxing expression that his anxiety was starting to ease. Maybe the fact that we're here about to find what we're looking for was a comforting thought. Heathcliff, is it that important that you dress well for this occasion? Huh? Oh, yeah. A rather delicate but gently smouldering hearth, calm silent air, the perfect atmosphere to bring up uncomfortable subjects for some honest heart-to-heart. Wow, we haven't even gotten to see what the first fight looks like! Or is someone waiting for you there? Someone you'd like to dress up for? Well, I suppose you're not completely wrong. Oh ho ho! A secret, is it? Don Quixote excitedly and loudly dragged her chair up close to Heathcliff. I have to go back as a successful man, someone of great worth, so that they'll know I've changed, that I'm no longer that witless brigand Heathcliff. That's why I have to dress posh when I return, to appear like a man of quality. Ooh, hath someone stoked the fire of envy in thy stomach? Is this about revenge, like Ishmael? Revenge. Don't know why that would be. Heathcliff leaned back on his chair. It creaked as he rocked gently back and forth. There was a look of deep introspection on his face, which was, if my memory serves me right, a first. Well, I suppose you could call it revenge, but what I really want to do is make her regret. Yeah, that's what this is. I'll show him. I'll trample over those bastards who thought I wasn't worth shite. So that she'll regret not choosing me. So that she'll feel that regret down to the deepest reaches of her heart. I'll prove to Kathy there was no better man for her than I. Kathy. Heathcliff's eyes tremble a little as he speaks her name. He's mentioned that name before. His eyes trembled then, too. This Kathy must be someone pretty important to you. Of course, bloody important. So, what happened between the two of you? Between you and Kathy? Catherine, to be exact. I call her Kathy. It's a long and complicated story. Aha! Allow mine intuition to speak for thee. This Kathy must be thy lover, is she not? Wait, is that what she is to you? Huh? Nah, it's nothing like that. Okay, maybe a little bit. He's stuttering like Sinclair on a bad day. While his disposition was as brusque as always, I could clearly see that he couldn't stop himself from smiling from a mere mention of her name. That gave me more than enough answers. Every sinner had a reason for joining Limbus Company, so maybe Heathcliff joined Limbus Company for this Kathy person. Makes me wonder what kind of a person she might be, though. Someone that special, that precious to Heathcliff. Don't be so overdramatic. That ain't me. Now, I do this not out of my obligations as the manager, but I'm starting to think that I want to help you out so that you can be the best man you can be for her. Indeed, we shall be all be. People of quality. I heard a door open in that very moment. It wasn't the reception hall door. That one was made of wood and wouldn't make the sound that I just heard. This sound came from over there, away from us, from a dark corner of the room. Then we heard sounds of metal scraping against wood. It was accompanied by a howling blizzard. So those were sleigh marks, huh? The huge sleigh made its way across the wooden floor on the marks that were already on the floorboards. It was flanked by several gnomes. The sleigh was red, the sacks on it were either black or red. But they were all littered with flesh and blood. Because of course, it's Limbus Company. Doduro, we've got your next batch of ingredients right here, Ohm. Phew, my back, Ohm. Come on, friend Ohm, just think about the looks on our friends' faces when they open their present, Gnomes. Always worth it, of course. Well worth it. Here, Ohm. The gaggle of gnomes who were walking in our direction as they chatted and gossiped froze in place upon noticing us. Quit lollygagging, Ohm. Quit chit-chatting and help us out, Ohm. We've got a lot to process, Ohm. Besides, we've brought some live ones this time, Ohm. I think I saw some sacks on the sleigh move. No, they were thrashing. Like something was trying to escape. Is that? Grab your weapon, girl. What is the matter with thee? These fellows are but hard-working. Whoa! There's someone out there! Please help! Get me out of here! Ohm, what a joyous day, Ohm! This one's fresh, Ohm! No! But they're human Ohms. Did Manager Dodoro bring them in, Ohm? How did he manage to bring in humans so fresh, Ohm? So, all along thy factory has been... Oh boy. I could hear a familiar voice coming from the other door in the room as Don Quixote stood there flabbergasted. Dodoro's done a blunder, Ohm. That sleigh wasn't supposed to be coming here, Ohm. Don't you worry, Ohm. Just a little game between us gnomes. That's your excuse? Master Dodoro? Dodoro's listening, Ohm. Tell me the contents of those sacks. Raw material for presents, of course, Ohm. Besides, Lady Don Quixote, Ohm. Dodoro's prepared those fancy clothes for you and your friends to wear, Ohm. Why don't we head right out to wear? What raw materials are they? Ohm, Dodoro's tired of lambs, human Ohms. Humans like you. You lot, what did I say about using this storage space, Ohm? I told you this one was off limit, Ohms. What, are you going to deliver nothing but disappointment to our neighbor, Ohms? Even now they await gifts from our factory, Ohm. Oh, my bad, Ohm. Oh, Already told the factory director to look forward to this batch. What was I thinking? This was absolutely not worth it. I know what you're thinking, Clockhead. So quit sighing and start strategizing. We've got to get out of here, yeah? Yeah, sitting here and feeling sorry for myself won't do anything. It never did. Got it. Grab your tool, Ohms! Fresh, locally produced materials coming right up, Ohm! Right in. Let's crack on, you little shites. Because nothing in the city is ever as nice as it seems. So here's the question. Alright, so this sort of fight is a gang war. It's not a focused encounter. Weak to Gluttony, Wrath, and Pierce. Gluttony, Wrath, and Pierce. And it looks like these guys are crit focused. Downside is Gluttony. This is gonna hurt. Oh, 4 waves. This is gonna cause trouble. If this unit has shield gain attack power up, heal SP. Oh, these guys have SP gauges. Good to know. Cherry Gnome. Every surviving enemy gives this unit plus 2% chance to hit heads. Okay. Oh, fresh human Ohms. Mine Ohms. When there are more surviving enemies than surviving allies. Gain haste and attack. So it doesn't matter what way we go, we're going to have a bad time. It has been a while since I've heard that song, I can say that much. Okay, it's kind of a waste, but I think I'm going to have Heathcliff use his Envy attack right now. Start saving up for Telepole just in case we need it. And now they slightly outnumber us, which is not ideal. Wow! We don't even get support passives, which makes sense, but it's still not ideal. Oh, they're also resisting Gloom and Sloth. That's not good for Donnie, I guess, but...
씹는 맛이 있는데? 씹는 맛이 있는데?
지금이 기회인 것 같소. 다음은 어디요?
Okay, now we might be slightly not ideal because they outspeed us and Heathcliff is running out of ammo. Meanwhile, you've got...
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어. 자, 지금이 기회인 것 같소. 자.
Ouch! That gives him the speed boost, which is nice. I just want to make sure that his last ammo is spent on his skill 3 quick suppression. I'm not exactly sure what would be Donnie's ideal class to bring to this though. I would almost say that it would be ideal to bring the base identity for Heathcliff. Which sounds weird, but I think that his blunt resistances might go well here. Anyway, he's out of bullets.
씹는 맛이 있는데?
And there's Doduro. Deal crit damage and give him poise and poise count, so I think actually we flip this over to be a gloom skill. You get absolute gloom resonance here.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어. 다음은 어디요?
You know what I said about using telepole? I really should have thought about using telepole here.
다음은 어디요? 다음은 어디요?
But yeah, that was a fun little challenge run there. Now what's the story? Yeah, these were some fierce swords. The fault lies with me. The light of confidence had completely faded from Don Quixote's face. So did her enthusiastic voice. No, I should have thought this plan through. Well, if we were to find someone to blame, the biggest fault would lie with me, the manager. Maybe I should have turned around the moment I sensed that something was off. Alas! With that, Don Quixote marched toward the now abandoned sleigh. This is... Several mutilated bodies tumbled to the ground as soon as Don Quixote undid the knot tying the sack. Damn it, I was afraid that this was what we'd find inside the sack. There were a total of 7 or so people in the sack, but they were all missing a few limbs. They were barely breathing, and some of them had already perished. I've never seen their style of clothing before. Looks like we're pretty far from where we were. I've seen similarly worn and torn clothing in the back streets, but the clothing they wore was of materials and styles that I'd not seen before. The back door must have sent us pretty far. Force did tell me that each district within the city had a different cultures and such, so it doesn't really matter, does it? They'll all die soon. It's not like you can turn the clock for them. Let's just get back to the bus. Hey, here, this person is intact. Hark, get a hold of thyself. Art thou the one who requested our help earlier? Who are you? We'll find that out next time, because I think this Christmas event might be interesting. Although next episode will probably be an upload of a Luxcavation. Maybe, maybe not. I might weave in this Christmas event.
소위 말하는 엘리트? 나 승진시켜주시오, 관리자 나리.
That's a lot of trinkets.